Do millennials really have no social skills? That was something that I'd heard several years ago that, they're so buried in their phones and social media and texting and whatever that person to person contact, they just don't know how to do it. They don't know how to handle it. And I thought, yeah, it's what a bunch of BS. I don't really buy into that. Well, back in 2017, this is where the Linkin Park story comes in. I was planning on going to see Linkin Park. And they were, of course, touring their latest album at the time. And they were going to play in Boise, Idaho. And I wanted to go to Boise and to see them there because I have family out there. And then I was going to go see them in LA. So really looking forward to seeing the band because I hadn't seen them live, perform live yet. So this was a great opportunity. But of course, unfortunately, that July of 2017, we lost Chester Bennington. And that was something, and I don't know why, but it hit me really, really hard. I was a fan of the band. I wasn't like hardcore. I mean, there's some people who are like really, really hardcore. But for whatever reason, it hit me really, really hard. And I think it was just a culmination of things. Maybe I was under a lot of stress and anxiety and pressure. I was working on my second album, 1111 at the time. There was a lot of pressure. But I don't know. I don't have a real reason, or at least I didn't think that there was a reason or a specific reason of why I was so compelled and just hit hard with the death of Chester Bennington. Now, when Linkin Park announced that they were going to do this Celebration of Life concert, I knew I had to go. I had a trip planned to go out to Boise to see my family on the weekend that they were going to be doing the Celebration of Life concert. And I canceled seeing my family so that I could make it to go to this concert. I had to be there. Again, there was this drive inside that I needed to be there for whatever reason. And so I bought tickets that cost a fortune, but I bought them anyway. I had great seats. But I thought, okay, I'm going to go. I'm going to buy 2 tickets. I don't know who I was going to go with because I felt that you didn't just have to be a Linkin Park fan. You had to really understand the effect that their music and that Chester had on the fan base. If you don't get it, I just didn't want to go with somebody who would be like, yeah, the band's okay, and then they're like bored halfway through. That was not going to happen. So I had to make sure that whoever went to the concert with me was somebody who appreciated and understood what this represented. So I did. So I canceled my trip and I went to the show. And that was a Friday night on October 27th of 2017. And there was a Facebook group that was put together specifically for this concert. And so I joined that group and shared about where I was sitting and had some really nice interactions with people who were attending the concert. And then I posted, hey, I'm on my way to the Hollywood Bowl. I'm going to stop off at Lucky Strike, the bowling alley in downtown Hollywood. If you want to meet me there for lunch before I walk up to the bowl, come on by. So someone responded and they're like, oh yeah, I'll go meet you there. So I go to Lucky Strike and order up my little drink there and have a toast to Chester. And I thought, okay, cool. So there was nobody there. It was early in the afternoon, so there wasn't really anybody in Lucky Strike at the time. I was sitting up at the bar. So this guy comes in, and he sits next to me, but doesn't say a word. And I'm thinking, is this the guy that said he was going to come meet me at Lucky Strike? And so I grabbed my phone. And I started looking on social media, and I go to the Facebook page, and I kind of look at his profile picture there, and then I look at him, and I'm like, it's got to be the guy. Why hasn't he said anything? So I strike up a conversation with them and say, hey, aren't you? Oh yeah, that's me. I'm like, Jesus, why didn't you say anything? I didn't say that, but I ended up just having a conversation with him, getting him to talk. And this was really interesting. Yes, he was a millennial, and yes, he was awkward with his social skills talking to somebody face to face. I never thought that I would ever experience that firsthand, but I did. So maybe there was something to that statement of, millennials don't know how to socialize. Now, I don't think that's a common thing, but I experienced it and I was like, wow, that really is a thing. People do bury themselves with technology and don't get out to interact with humans. Human to human contact is so important. So that was interesting. Anyway, I got to talking with the guy. He was a really nice guy. He flew down from Oregon to go to the concert. We walked up to the bowl together. It was really a great experience, and I'm still friends with him today. You know, a lot of the people that I met because of this concert, I'm still friends with on Facebook and whatever, and there are a lot of people that I still haven't met in person, but we're still virtual friends. But I did meet a lot of people, and it was really, really great. So when I walked up to the bowl, we went up to the bowl. They had some really incredibly emotional displays. They had this one wall of just people putting their artwork and tributes to Chester, and you can sign the wall. It was really, really nice. And of course, they had these ribbons with the quotes, a lot of Linkin Park song quotes on them, and it was just a really, really beautiful thing to experience. And I got to meet some pretty cool people. Let's see, what do I want to show you? This was interesting that so when you got to the bowl, they gave you these little, let's see, I'm losing my train of thought, because you know what, we called them Chester Magochis. And but they were cool. They lit up and they would light up during the concert and change colors that corresponded with the songs that were played. It was actually really, really cool. But I did get a chance to sell my ticket, and I did sell it to this person, Katie, really cool girl. She flew out, I think, from Florida. If I'm getting that wrong, Katie, sorry about that. But she bought the ticket. I met her that day of the concert to give her ticket, and we sat together because, again, I wanted to sit with somebody who appreciated what this concert was about and what the meaning of this concert was all about. So we had a super great time. There were a couple really poignant moments during the concert. One of them was when they performed the song Numb. They brought out this mic stand with basically a flowered wreath that they hung on the stand. I know my picture here is a bit blurry. There's other better pictures of it. I'm sure you can see that on social media. And they started playing Numb. Nobody sang the song. And guess what? The audience jumped in and we sang our lungs out to this song. It was an incredibly emotional experience. Another great experience was when they performed One More Light. Now, on that Facebook group, we had talked about getting a bunch of glow sticks, pink glow sticks, because pink was one of Chester's favorite colors. And they're like, oh, I know somebody said they're gonna be playing One More Light. When they play that song, let's crack those glow sticks and turn the bowl pink. I thought, wow, that's pretty cool. So I bought a bunch of glow sticks, people bought a bunch of glow sticks. And again, talking about stepping out of your comfort zone when it comes to social interaction, because I'm a shy person too, but I went up and down the bowl and was handing out glow sticks to people and meeting people and talking to people, and you know what, it was such an incredible experience. And again, like I said, I made a lot of great friends at that concert. So it was a really, really great experience. And when they did sing One More Light, we lit up the bowl. We lit up the bowl and we turned it pink. It was an incredible experience. This isn't my photo. I don't remember who took this photo, but what a great picture to really give you an overview of how this was such an incredible moment. Matter of fact, I believe that Mike Shinoda had said in an interview or something that he did notice the bowl turning pink, and I think he waited to start singing the song because he was just embracing the moment, seeing what the fans had done. But pretty incredible. And then, of course, there were a lot of friends that Linkin Park brought to do a lot of singing, and it was great where we were sitting because we were right there when Shinoda came out and he was walking the edge of the orchestra pit, and our seats were right behind the pit. So it was really great. And that was the one and only time when I actually saw Linkin Park. And it was, again, like I say, a great experience. And I met some really, really nice people. Let's see. There's some crazy Linkin Park fans. But you know what? I really embrace the friends that I made from all over the world that came to this show. And you know what? Most of them were millennials. And guess what? They were social. So, I don't think that that's something that is a true statement. Maybe there's some people who do have some awkward social skills and that they do communicate better with social media. But you know what? You got to get out there and you got to have human interaction, because that's really so important. It's such a vital thing, all right? You don't want to be, this is a great picture. I don't know who did the artwork, but I love it, because you know what? You don't want to turn into this. You don't want to allow social media to control your life. You don't want to bury your face into your phone and into your computer or whatever it is that you do. You got to get over that. You got to get over that. We don't want to have this as our society. And I think people are better nowadays. Maybe you think differently. I don't know. I'd love to hear from you and your thoughts about that. But, social interaction is super, super important, and you got to have that. All right. So that's really the message that I wanted to talk about on this episode of Raw and Unfiltered. Yeah, of course, people say, millennials, this and that and the other, and maybe some of that's true. Maybe some people did grow up in that coddle culture, right? Parents, overprotecting their kids from the mean, cruel world. But you know what? You're doing your kids a disservice, because if you don't know how to deal with bad things that happen in life, because that is life, and you're overprotective, you don't have the skills to deal with it. And that's doing your kids a disservice. So I don't believe in that whole coddle culture thing. All right, that's just not good. All right, you got to learn how to handle and live in society. Okay, you got to learn how to handle yourself. Now, the Linkin Park family is an interesting thing. All right, Linkin Park fans are are very interesting, to say the least. And so let's get intimate here. The one thing that I love about this fan base is that they really do care. And most people care about each other, and they're there to help each other, and they understand what it is to support each other. Now, there are a couple of people who that I've experienced who unfortunately put a stain on this Linkin Park family. There's one, I posted something that was a quote from somebody else that I shared because they were talking about depression and suicide and all that. And then somebody responded and sent me a message saying something, to the effect of they didn't like what I said, and I didn't need to be this and I need to be that and whatever. And it's funny because if you're supposed to have this Linkin Park family support, yet you're talking that way. I mean, what if I was somebody who was like triggered and then would do something horrible, right? That was really stupid of that person to send a message like that. What are you, holier than thou? I don't think so. Or I had another friend who I actually did meet at a gallery event, and she deals with a lot of mental stress and anxiety, and I wanted to be there to support this person. And then we started writing letters and everything. But what I found out was that if you're not doom and gloom, all right, if you work to make the choice to choose positivity and try to claw your way out of depression, whether you do it yourself or you have a support system, whether it's professional support system or friends or family or whatever, you make that choice to pull yourself out of it. And that was the choice that I wanted to make. I was going through a lot of crap at that time, and we were letter writing, and so was she was telling her story, I was telling my story, and we were supporting each other. But once it seemed like I was clawing my way back into getting out of this horrible depression and just negativity, it's like, oh, they didn't want to be friends with you anymore because, misery loves company. And she was the epitome of that. And I'm like, wow, you know what? It's all about support. It's not about your, being doom and gloom all the time and wanting to drag people down. That's not being supportive. I have another friend who, she goes through a lot. She has depression and anxiety, chronic illness. There's things going on with her life and her family. It's a struggle for her. And she's part of this Linkin Park family. But I'll tell you, even after everything that she goes through, she is so incredibly supportive of what I do musically. When I released my second album, 1111, I knew the struggles that she was going through, and I'm like, yeah, I will send you an album for free. I have no problem doing that because I want to, I love the support that you're giving me. And she's like, no, I'm paying for your album because I budgeted for it, because I want to support you. Oh man, it doesn't get any better than that. I love her for that. And anything that I can do to help support her, I do. And, that to me means the world. And that is what, whether it's Linkin Park family or just being a good human is all about. We support each other. All right, let's get over the divisiveness. Let's get over the chaos. Let's get over the negativity. Let's get over posting about, hating the government, this and that and the other. That doesn't matter what side you're on. What does that do? It doesn't solve anything. Do something positive. Spread positivity. That's what's going to change this world. And we can, but you have to make that choice. All right? You've got to make that choice. So as we wrap up this episode of Raw and Unfiltered, again, more person-to-person contact. If it's uncomfortable for you, put yourself in make yourself uncomfortable. Get out of your comfort zone and do something that's uncomfortable. But you know what? This is why I say this after every live I do, after every Raw and Unfiltered I do. I always say, smile at a stranger, say hello to them, give them a compliment, because that small gesture of kindness makes a world of difference in somebody's life and changes somebody who may be going through something incredibly negative, gives them a glimpse of hope and a glimpse of positivity. It's a simple thing. That's why I do that. That's why I say that. So let's spread more positivity. Let's interact with each other in person. Let's not bury ourselves in our phones. Let's not bury ourselves and hide behind our computer screens, because boy, are we brave when we're behind a computer screen. No, get out there, socialize, be good humans, talk to people, spread positivity, support each other. Don't go for the misery loves, or depression. No, misery loves company. Misery loves company. No more. Forget that. Positivity, support. That's what life is about, and that's what you need to do. All right, there's my words of wisdom. Thank you so much for tuning in. I do appreciate you. Please hit subscribe. I'd love to take you on my journey as I record ER, as I am going to be releasing this new album, and I have other things that I want to share with you as well. I really appreciate your support. Go to laneslaire.com. I got so many businesses. laneslaire.com, and follow me there as well. Go to my shop, Lane's Laire Shop, for some great merch. But really subscribe and hit that notification bell on this YouTube channel, because I'd love to take you on the Lane's Laire journey. Thank you so much for your support. I really do appreciate you. And you have an awesome day and an awesome week. We'll be talking to you soon.